6 yıl önce Daniel Craig ile yeni bir döneme adım atan dünyanın en uzun soluklu serisi 007 James Bond serisinin 23. filmi Skyfall'la sinemadaki 50. yaşına yönetmen Sam Mendes yönetmenliğinde girmişti. Skyfall'un serisinin bir önceki filmi Quantum of Solace'tan 4 sene aradan sonra vizyona girmesinin sebebi ise Warner Bros'un içine düştüğü finansal kriz. İflas sebebiyle son Bond projesi ertelenmek zorunda kalmış ve geçtiğimiz Kasım ayında çekimlerine başlanmıştı. Bütçesi 200 milyon doları aşan filmin çekimleri Çin, İskoçya, İngiltere ve bildiğimiz gibi Türkiye'de yapıldı. Şimdi Skyfall'un yapım notlarını izleyelim.
The roots of me doing this Bond movie start way before anybody approached me, because I, like everyone else, have my own personal relationship with Bond, which began when I was, I suppose, about 9 or 10 years old. So, you know, I've always been a fan of the movies. I was genuinely blown away by Casino Royale, and I thought, A, Martin Campbell did a brilliant job, but also because of Daniel. I felt like he was a real man in a real situation again, and it reminded me of the way I felt when I watched the Sean Connery movies. So for me, it was not actually that difficult a decision. It struck me that it is still possible to make a big, fabulous, glamorous, escapist movie, and yet at the same time to say something about the world that we're living in. So I thought that it would be a wonderful thing to do.
And action.
I think that the way any director deals with a huge film, if they're lucky enough to be able to do one, is in tiny incremental steps. You can only do one day at a time, and if you try and make the entire movie all at once, then your head will explode, particularly a movie on this scale. Ironically, I've never made an English movie. I've made 6 movies, and this is the first time I've shot in this country, which is an extraordinary thing. So I feel like the American years were my apprenticeship for doing the Bond movie.
We wanted to be here because it is the most magnificent place. It's an incredible city. I think what we've got in store will combine the best of Istanbul and of Turkey without falling into cliché. What you have here in Istanbul is an ever-changing, evolving city, and we're very much trying to capture the city as it is now. We visit Turkey in order to achieve what I hope will be a fantastic opening sequence.
This is a mission that has kind of gone wrong. So Eve and Bond are working together in trying to rectify it, basically.
It's a very ambitious opening action sequence. It's pretty varied in the sense that you've got the crowded streets and the marketplaces in the centre of Istanbul, to the rooftops of the Grand Bazaar, to the Grand Bazaar itself, to railway bridges and tunnels and mountains.
Turkey has just brought so much to the film in terms of scope. The camera positions and we're not just shooting in Istanbul. We shoot in different areas in Turkey that can provide different things for the film.
In terms of where we shoot, we've been to Adana, down in the southeast of Turkey, and a place called Fethiye, which is down on the Mediterranean coast, as well as Istanbul, which was new to me when I started this film, and I've fallen in love with. The most incredible city.
At the moment we're on the edge of Eminönü Square. At this time of year they're getting upwards of 1 million visitors a day, so it's a very, very busy environment, and we're filming quite a difficult sequence of a car chase into a gun battle, so yeah, we've got an awful lot on our plate.
It's just such a pleasure to be here, just in such a wonderful, welcoming place. Turkish people have sort of welcomed us with open arms. It's just a very magical place for Bond to be.
My job is to basically be the architect of the film and to take the words and turn them into visuals, creating environments for the characters. The simple version is you go from this and all of this to this to this.
I trained to be a set designer and costume designer. They take my breath away when you absolutely, you know, after you've worked in that space for a day, I mean, that becomes the real place to you.
Initially, I concept the ideas, bring the words to some sort of a visual state, and there's a massive team of people that support me in that and creating the visuals that you'll see in not only the sense of concept and design aspects, also construction, set decorating. All of those elements are part of what you'll see in the film, and it comes in many ways. The location department as well too is included, because if we can't find a location that works, then we have to build it on stage. We're in the 007 stage. It means a privilege, you know, for all of us to be here historically, and for great space to work in.
The first set we had there is absolutely vast. Looked like an enormous kind of underground station. You can't believe it. And the attention to detail is so fantastic.
The narrative of this project is, I think, absolutely wonderful. It's going to be groundbreaking. It's going to be a new chapter. So it's really about finding things that are different and exciting for the audience to look at.
Eve is a field agent. She's very capable. She kind of sees herself as Bond's equal. She's not, but that's how she sees herself. Like most people in England, I grew up with them and I think they're amazing films and I've always loved them. So I just couldn't believe that I was part of all of this, and I still can't believe it.
You're going to have it on automatic, but you'll do short bursts.
I've been training for like 2 months now.
Front!
I've mainly been doing guns, machine guns and handguns, in particular Walther PPKs. I'm just so excited to be part of this whole journey.
I always wanted to work on a Bond movie. I have been in love with James Bond all my life, and it was so wonderful to be able to do one. It's quite difficult because James Bond is such an iconic figure that you have to respect a certain style. An English gentleman, perfectly dressed up. You know, sometimes doing a lot of physical stunts with a beautiful, glamorous woman in exotic locations. And that's what's expected to be seen. So you have to give a new look to a very successful image. So we fitted different shapes until we found the exact shape that suited Danielle and everybody was happy with. Then went to Tom Ford and I showed him, and Tom Ford manufactured the suits. But they are exceptionally well made. The fabric are amazing. The suits are indestructible. Whatever happens, he stands up and the suits are perfect. I wanted to give the whole look a little edge, you know, because although his suits are tailored and they are handmade, he should wear them with a little 2012 touch, and that's what I've been trying to do.
We have an extremely wide shot from behind the bridge. We'll also have a shot from here that kind of tracks with Bond looking back towards the bridge. One of the real special things about working on the Bond films is finding just the right location for what the script is calling for. And you find a lot of time in pre-production traveling from one location to the next and trying to find the ideal spot to shoot the scenes. On this film in particular, we've got just some really exciting places that we're shooting. We have Shanghai, which is a really special city, and it's a really exotic Bond location, and such a great skyline.
Well, we're here in Shanghai, and the scene that we're shooting is the arrival of Patrice and Bond, and they go from the airport to where all the high-rises are.
James Bond is tailing another character, which involves some cars on the highway. We're here, behind me is what's called the Yan'an Highway. It's a major arterial road in Shanghai, and it has this rather unusual blue light.
It's an amazing city to see at night. I mean, all the high-rises have neon lights and advertising. It's amazing through the lens. I haven't seen anything like it.
I don't think it's enough to just look pretty. anymore. You know, that may well have been true in the past, but certainly not now.
Bond girls don't look like models. They have their specific look, a look that fits the movie. She is really a femme fatale. There is a complexity in this part, which I like very much.
I think what's really important to bring is a multi-layered character. With Eve, she's a field agent. She's good at driving cars, firing guns. She kind of sees herself as Bond's equal.
The casting of the girls with Naomi and Berenice, finding two exceptionally beautiful girls who are very serious actresses, and both of them wanted to be in a Bond movie, and both of them have brought totally individual characters to their parts. And for me on the set, it's been a joy just to sort of play with these people.
Everybody in this cast is great, and also I feel that I couldn't find a better director to work with for my first English role, because he's very humble and funny, and all that creates a great atmosphere to work in.
I've loved the Bond movies for so many years, and there are so many amazingly, hugely talented women who have been Bond girls, so it's a huge honour to be part of that legacy, so I feel incredibly proud. And I still can't believe that I have to pinch myself every day, pretty much. It's amazing.